Great to have you back on Yes. Yankees lead the Tigers 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Hey, Yankees fans, become a Yankees insider today. Receive the latest video highlights, up-to-date news, features, ticket specials, and more. All delivered free to your inbox, wherever you are. Sign up today at Yankees.com/subscribe. And if you already have a Yankees.com account, log in to manage your preferences now. Don't miss a moment. Visit Yankees.com/subscribe today. Again, bottom of the 7th with a 1-0 Yankees lead. The new pitcher, Foley, Jason Foley for the Tigers. That's his numbers from 2019. He, of course, missed out on last season, was not at their old site. And he is facing Robinson Chirinos, who took over for Gary Sanchez.
Chirinos was impressive, Bob, in his first Zoom interview with reporters. Sanchez is the starter, Higashioka is the backup, Chirinos is insurance. We can all say that, but when Chirinos was asked about his status, he said, I'm not looking at it that way. I came here to try and win a job. I came here to try and help the Yankees win, and I know there are two very good players who are here and who were here last year, but as a player, I can't think that way. I thought that was a very professional, experienced answer.
Swing and a miss on the 2-1, evens the count at 2-2.
Well, when you're a guy like Chirinos at this point in his career, I mean, the Yankees know exactly what they have in him, right? Really good defender, works the pitching staff, does a great job offensively. Whatever you get will be a bonus. And from his standpoint, he comes in here, Jack, with the confidence. I know who I am. I know what I've done. If there's room on this team, I'll be able to help them. He's got nothing to prove, and, you know, it might work out here, might work out someplace else. But I think when you get to the point where he is in his career, there's a confidence. This is who I am, and this is what I can do to help you win.
And a nice leadoff walk there here to start the bottom of the 7th. Armando Alvarez took over at third base for Miguel Andujar. Split time between Double and Triple A in 2019. Some impressive power, 11 homers, 76 runs batted in.
Bob, you detailed Foley's numbers before. He's actually a Long Island native, and he pitched his college ball at Sacred Heart in Fairfield.
This little inside-out hit for Alvarez right there to set up runners at first and second. Well, Yankee Spring Training on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official SUV of the New York Yankees. For current offers, visit buyfordnow.com. Back to the top of the Yankees order now, and it's Hoy Park taking over at second base for DJ LeMahieu. Chirinos is at second, and Alvarez is at first. The Yanks have something going here in the bottom of the 7th with a 1-0 lead.
Now, Jack, the reporter in you just gave us that great nugget that Foley went to Sacred Heart. Do you have Bobby Valentine's cell phone in your phone?
I do.
To get a little, you just got to get a little scatter report on this guy.
I can do that.
Bobby V, what? He's the athletic director.
You want
there,
me
right?
to endeavor to do that? Yes, I can do that. He is the athletic director there, former Met manager.
But let me ask you this. You said Jack reporting, because earlier he said when I did reporting things. Or reporter things for the Times. You still do reporter things.
I just meant back in spring training, back when we had clubhouse access, all of that.
Luke Voigt had foot stuff. You do reporter things. Park fouling that one off, 1-2.
You know, when the Yankees are bringing in some of these players who obviously some of them were not at the alt site last year. It was interesting, Kevin Reese, going back again to him, the Yankees senior director of player personnel, talked about the rigid schedules that these players have. And he said, and I think you'll get a kick out of this, Flash, he said, it's pretty much impossible to not work hard because they give these guys schedules. Your day starts at 8 o'clock, and we want you here at 8 o'clock for stretch, and then you're going to do this for 2 hours, and then you're going to do that. And then obviously with COVID restrictions, that group of guys is going to leave. But he said you can stand out and be a hard worker. There will be guys who come in for extra hitting or do extra workouts, but it's difficult to be a slacker, I guess is what he was telling me.
You appreciate the schedule, obviously, that they have to be on, but you know, the one downside of it, I would think, from a competitive standpoint, when you're a player and a minor leaguer and you're trying to get better, the games tell you where your development has gotten to. And you know, without those regular season games and going through the slumps when you know that it counts and the pressure is mounting, that's when you really figure out the mental side of the game and the toughness to fight through some tough times in a minor league season and still be productive.
Park trying to fight through that at bat. He stayed alive on 3-2 with a foul ball. Flies this one to center field. Chirinos will tag from second, so the runner advances one away.
Flash, you bring up a great point. A little bit of a segue as we take a look at this swing one more time. Remind you of anybody? Maybe a little Shohei Ohtani in there. But I asked Kevin Reese about Jason Dominguez because, of course, that would be a reporter thing. He better ask about the #1 prospect as Beltre steps to the plate. And he just talked about how physical Dominguez is, this powerful body. And he said when he first saw him hit, he thought, well, he can't be as fast as everybody says he is, not with that body. And then he watched him run, and he said he's just as fast. We've heard the stories about the exit velocity, 115 exit velocity in batting practice. And Kevin said, listen, we want to slow down the hype train. We want to let him drive his own hype train. But my point, Flash, is he hasn't played in any games yet. And that's what you need. You need to get the reps. You need to see the spin on a slider. You need to lay off an outside pitch after they just busted you inside. You need to face people who are trying to get you out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think about all the scanner report, and, you know, every player kind of goes through when you get drafted, you show up with your draft class and you kind of try to size yourself up against the guys who you were drafted with. And I remember so many talented players, and I'm like, man, this guy, he hits the ball a mile, he flies, like he'll be in the big leagues next year. And then all of a sudden you get into a minor league season and things aren't going well and the mental toughness just isn't there. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but that's part of developing in the minor leagues and being able to fight through tough times and get yourself back on track. That'll be the biggest test for him.
He's 18 years old, and one anecdote that Kevin told me that stood out is he went over the Dominican Republic for instructional league over there. And after starting out with the Yankees and naturally being a little more reserved, you're trying to figure your situation out as Beltre goes down swinging. Kevin said that Dominguez was sort of taking control in some workouts. And it was Dominguez who was talking with some of the other players in the Dominican with the Yankees and trying to tell them, well, this is the way we do this drill. And after being a little more reserved, Reese said it was really encouraging to see that leadership side of him come out.
Two away here in the bottom of the 7th. And it's Ryan Lamar. Runners at first and third for the Yanks as they threaten to put more on the board. That 1 run coming in the 5th inning on a solo home run from Gleyber Torres.
So, Flash, on that graphic, we just had Davy Garcia. He pitched yesterday, obviously vying for a spot in the rotation. Gave up a couple of home runs. But he also had a bunch of swings and misses. If you caught him yesterday, what would be your message to him about what he should take away from that outing?
Great job. The solo home runs don't bother you at all. You were pounding the strike zone. Your stuff looked really good. And for a first outing, it was a very, very positive outing. Even for a young kid who's trying to make a team, I think there was a lot to like about it.
Chopper to short, and that'll wrap things up here in the bottom of the 7th. The Yanks strand a pair, but they still lead it 1-0 as we head to the top of the 8th in Tampa.